Welcome to this horror special of TRS Clips. Make sure you subscribe because the scares have just begun. What's the most haunted location or the most uncomfortable location that you had visited?
Uncomfortable, I don't know. Haunted is my house. Yeah, because there are all these haunted objects. If I let them loose, it'll be all hell.
So, in your house currently, there's a
Yeah.
lot of objects which probably have entities inside them.
Yeah, they are.
Like your little demonic pets.
Yeah. What we do is whenever we go to any haunted locations or any cases that we resolve as a team, as pairs, team Sarvajit, Pooja, and me. So what we do is we ask those people, those private cases, whether you want to, completely discard this or you want to give it to us. And a lot of them are very generous enough to say, okay, fine, I don't mind giving it to you guys. So we collect these objects. Wherever we go to a haunted location, I'm the person who scouts. So Sarvajit will ask me, what, bhaiya, dekho, if you can find anything from here. So a lot of places we don't really. But there are some places when we completely know, okay, fine, this is the main source of all the disturbances that are happening. So we get them back along, we shield it, and we get it back along. And so those are all there at my house right now.
Okay.
On top of the fridge.
On top of the fridge.
Yeah.
Get up at night to make a cheese sandwich. And
Yeah.
Hey! And some cheese sandwiches. What's the star object in all those? What's the most intense one?
In those, there is a mirror. There's a big mirror, which opens a portal. And it will be like multiple entities that can go in and out through that. So we always keep it covered, and that is there on my loft.
What's a portal?
Is a portal is a doorway, is an entryway to the other world, to the other side of the world.
So all mirrors are portals?
No, they can be though. Potentially they can be, but they aren't.
Let's talk about this. This scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, dude. Like when I used to look in the mirror and just smile, I used to feel like
Nah,
a
it's
little
not like
creeped
that.
out.
That is pareidolia. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you look at anything and you form, your brain works that they try to form a pattern and whatever, you try to see different things. Not every mirror is a portal. Not every place is haunted and not everything is a demonic entity. But portals are created by mirrors which are facing each other sometimes because it causes an endless loop. So it gives a sort of what is that called? An entryway, a passageway for the other people or the other worldly and outworldly entities to actually enter this world. It happens even in Vastu, for that matter, Vastu, and even in Feng Shui also. They usually say you shouldn't be keeping a mirror opposite each other.
So when you go to one of these carnivals where there are all those mirror rooms, that's actually dangerous?
If you sit around over there and keep watching all around, yeah, probably you might feel the density. But because the atmosphere over there is pretty much lightened up by everything that is going on around, the festive atmosphere that is going on, you're constantly moving through the maze, that thing doesn't really affect.
Okay. You want to talk a little bit about this mirror world? What's on the other side of it?
A lot of entities that come from different galaxies, from different dimensions, especially. Like we stay in the third dimension, right? And to us, this object, whatever is there over here, is this exactly finite, right? If I ask you to take this and throw it out of this or take it out of this room without puncturing the walls or without opening the doors, it'll be impossible to us. But a person in the higher dimension will be able to do that very easily. It'll just disappear out of our presence and just appear outside. Like the same way, if you take a plane, a paper, and put a two-dimensional person along with an object, a coin, inside a room, right, and ask him to move that object outside the room without puncturing or opening any door, it'll be impossible for him.
I think maybe another way of understanding this is an ant. An ant would probably be a two-dimensional.
Not an ant. An ant will work on top of that. But if I draw a stick figure inside that, along with a coin, right, and put a boundary around it and say, you know what, you move this coin outside the boundary without breaking the boundary, he will not be able to do that. But for us, it's very, very easy. For a three-dimensional person, it's very easy. I just pick up the coin, take it in the third dimension, and place it out. And for that particular time, it will be invisible for that person. You'll say, okay, fine, this one just disappeared from my world and just suddenly appeared outside. So in the same way, what we do is in a third dimension is, if I ask you to pick up any of these objects and move it outside these three-dimensional limitations, it'll be impossible to us. We cannot see how I will be able to throw a ball outside this wall or the ceiling or the floor without actually puncturing any of those. But a person in the higher dimension, it's very easy. You just pick it out and keep it out. And for that point of time, it will be invisible for us. It'll be suddenly, oh my God, this chamatkar, this is magic, right? So in the same way, mirrors work in the same way. They create a different impression of what we see, endless loops and everything of what we see. And what we see again is only the 3-dimensional impression of what is happening actually in the higher dimensions. So what happens is these open portals for the other higher dimensions people or different dimensional people to actually enter this world. Like the spiritual world, the energy level, everything will increase.
What else can work as a portal other than 2 mirrors facing each other?
There are natural portals as well, like wherein 3 elements or 4 elements interact with each other. Sometimes some places they just create portals like water bodies, probably trees, right? Say about against each other or whatever like that. Some places become natural portals for entities to enter and go.
Okay, like could someone's house become a portal if you do a certain ritual there?
Yeah, sure. Like for example, if at all there are objects placed in tandem which emit a lot of EMF, and like for example, an inverter battery, probably a Wi-Fi router, or probably even a refrigerator or something like that, if they're kept in a triangular portion or something like that, as there was one case that we solved like this. It creates a portal over there, and you will find a lot of entities coming in and out, and you will see that. And it's not just hallucination because everybody else is seeing.
What do they actually visually see?
Entities walking in and out that walls and doors. But the EMF is not actually radiated outside. It's only in that particular triangle. So you cannot say this is a hallucination, because it would have been hallucination if at all you're standing inside that EMF pollution and then afterwards experiencing this.
Okay.
But it is completely outside, and from outside the house or outside that place that a person is seeing, entities just come in and out, walking out the wall and going inside.
What does an entity look like visually?
Whatever it was in his previous life.
Like a ghost of a person.
Of a person, exactly.
Will have the same face as that person.
Exactly.
How do you know it's a ghost?
You don't, actually, unless it does something like this, like just walking inside a wall, and then you know, okay, fine, you know what? Oh, this is something that is unnatural. That really cannot happen. Or the person just disappearing, or probably just glowing, or probably just a shadow figure.
Anything scary looking?
Not really.
They look like normal humans.
They look like normal humans. Not really scary. Scary has been portrayed by movies because they want to scare people. That's why I don't watch horror movies, because they scare people. But I deal with the real ghost every day. So they're not really scary.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you watch more horror clips on TRS Clips.